Hi friends, I'm Emily Wingfield, also known as Enneagram with Emily, and I wanted to take a minute today to explain to you how I got into the Enneagram. I have always loved self-growth, self-development, introspective tools. I love Myers-Briggs, DISC, love languages, strength finders, anything like that. But about 5 years ago, previously I'd looked into The Wisdom of the Enneagram, which is an amazing book. But it was a little too thick and heady for me at the time when I was just looking for a simple intro into the Enneagram. And so about 5 years ago, I really started doing a deeper dive into this. And then The Road Back to You came out by Ian Cron and Suzanne Stabile. I listened to the Liturgist podcast, which is a great overview of the 9 different Enneagram types. And then I went to a 2-day workshop that Suzanne and Ian were putting on in Asheville, North Carolina. I came home and I was on fire for the Enneagram. And so I started listening to every podcast possible. And just for myself, I started taking notes. I did all this because I was a stay-at-home mom with 2 young children at the time who were mainly talking about excavators, bulldozers, and fire trucks. And my brain was feeling a little numb to all of this. So as I would stand at my kitchen sink doing dishes, having little ones underfoot, I would listen to these podcasts. And then I just started taking notes for myself because I was so interested in the power of the Enneagram. And I had so many aha moments just from learning about it myself. So I started taking notes, and then I had enough loose papers around that I had to put them into a binder. Again, this was all just for my own work. And then my little 1/2-inch binder turned into a 1-inch binder, then turned into a 1.5-inch binder, and I just could not get enough. So I kept learning and kept learning. And then eventually, for me, this was a real God thing. We were at our church. We go to Peachtree Road United Methodist, and I read in the bulletin that they were going to do a book study on this book, The Road Back to You. So I went up to the minister that was organizing the book study, and I said, hey, I've been to a 2-day workshop about this, and I have a notebook full of notes. I would love to help you if you would like some help with this. And this was the moment, for the turning point in my life for me. She said, actually, I don't know anything about this. As a minister, we each just had to pick a book to do a book study on. I was actually going to have to teach myself about the Enneagram before I taught the book study. Would you just do the whole thing for me? She said, I will be your assistant. You be the teacher. I'll be the assistant. I will do room reservations, advertising, any administrative help you need. You teach the class and I'll do the back end stuff for you and be your support. Which, if you know anything about the Enneagram, I'm an Enneagram 9, which is the peacemaker, the mediator, and I can do big things, but sometimes I need a little leg up to get going on things because 9s sometimes struggle with inertia, and that was just the nudge I needed. And that was the beginning of Enneagram with Emily. So my first class, I taught it for free. It was a 5-week class. The majority of the students were my friends and family because they were so sweet to support me on this. And we wrapped up the class, and it was such an incredible experience that many of the people in the class said, well, you should teach this again. You know, my sister-in-law would take this. My nephew would be interested in this. Could you teach it again? And that was the beginning. That was over 2 years ago and 200 students ago. So slowly but surely, the Enneagram with Emily was built. And it was just gentle nudging along the way. One friend I still remember I had lunch with, and she said, well, you need business cards. I said, oh, business cards. Okay, I'll do that. And then another friend I had taught with little color copies, and she said, Emily, you need to make those into big posters to use. I said, oh, okay. And then my posters kept falling down, and somebody said, you need to buy a tripod. Okay, I'll buy a tripod. You need to build a website. Okay, I'll build a website. And here we are 2 years later, the Enneagram with Emily. It's a full-time, part-time job. I try to work 8 to 2 doing Enneagram with Emily, and then I work 2 to 8 as a stay-at-home mom for my 2 kids who are 10 and 7. And my passion in life is to spread the good news of the Enneagram that helps build compassion. The tagline for my business is increase your compassion, decrease your frustration, and improve your relationships. contact me today for me to guide you on that journey, because it is well worth it, because it is life changing. Thank you.